Two takes, that's you. Three takes, not me. Two takes if you lucky. First take, stop me. Four takes, that's you. Three takes, not me. Two takes if you lucky. First take, you got me.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Cobb and Dash Show. I'm Marcus Dash, and here with our guy, Ryan Cobb. We were supposed to get started here a little while ago, but a little late. Let's start to the day. Dash time, not Dame time. It's Dash time. But yeah, kind of a big week last week in the Bail Plus. Probably one of the biggest weeks we'll have in a really long time. Getting an owner out. And then inputting a new guy who some are saying he could be the face of the league in the next 5 years. That's what some are saying right now. I'm not saying it, but some are saying it. And you know what? I think I agree. The kid's phenomenal. Jack Louie, I'm talking about. Came in the middle of the week, made a few moves. He texted me saying, like, he was really surprised that he got this team. He's got a team that's in the playoffs, a team that actually has a lot of firepower. And he was surprised that the guy quit. Didn't know. I'm still trying to figure that out myself. So, Jack, you find the answer to that one, buddy? You definitely let us know. Also, other things that happened this week. Last night, Aiden, who's not in the league, everyone knows him as my nephew. Senior night. It was kind of a BL Plus little extravaganza. A couple of some of the owners, they had the 6 owners there last night. Gathered to wish him well in his final game at most of us alma mater at Woodson High School. Record-breaking high school quarterback there. And yeah, we'll be playing against him. Some of us will be playing against him in the Turkey Bowl. His future football career goes to the bowl game series, as most of us are now in the BGS. Any comments on either of those topics?
Yeah, I mean both. I guess I think I got my comments out on the owner leaving last week. A little bit of a weird situation, but glad to have Jack in here. Get to play him this week as well. He unfortunately didn't get a win his first week in the league, but I like you said, I think the future's bright. And obviously, congrats to Aiden. I was one of the guys that went to cheer on Woodson at the game last night, and some say that now he's going to the big leagues, focusing on the bowl games. So
that's true.
If people in this watching this aren't part of the bowl series, what are you doing? Got to wake up.
Yeah, what are you doing with your life if you're not a part of that? And this could be a record-breaking bowl game series, too. I know we're talking – this is a fantasy show, but it could be a record-breaking bowl game series. I'm hearing rumblings that we might have about 15 to 16 people in it. So that means we're going to have rotations of 3 or 4 guys. So if guys go down, which a lot of people do in these bowl game series, especially as we're getting older, we're going to have subs. And we're going to have a lot of subs. And we're going to get some subs later on, hopefully after the game. Good food, Santini's maybe, some little Sammys, little subbies. Yeah, so it should be fun. One more thing. I don't know if anyone I had a couple people ask me what the thumbnail was for our episode, why there was a state of Iowa there, and why did it say bailing ? Well, don't worry, no one's leaving the league. There's not another exit in the middle of the season, but there is an exit to the region. Our guy Stu Adams is moving back to Iowa. I'm still trying to figure out why that is. He came back. He retooled his team. He was probably one of the best teams he's had. Last year's probably his best 2-year stretch in a long time. Some say it was like the revitalization of coming back to the DC area. And so now that championship window is closed because now he's going back to Iowa, and we know he doesn't really get shit done in Iowa as far as fantasy-wise. So we wish him well. He's going to finish out the season near the BL Plus HQ to do some paperwork. Over the years, he's lost titles. I mean, he's only gone down. He was a co-commissioner at one point. That we had him head treasury for a little bit, and he's no longer that. He's no longer any of those things. But we still got him at the headquarters doing some paperwork, filing some stuff away for us. He's going to finish that up. He's going to head out of here in February. And yeah, apparently he might be back in a couple of years. I don't know. We'll see what happens with that whole situation. But yeah, so if that's what you guys are wondering why the state of Iowa was on the thumbnail this week, that's the reason why. Cobb, any comments to Stu's latest departure?
Yeah. I mean, it's as soon as he got in the door, he was out of it. It was nice having my old roommate right down the street for these feels like a couple weeks that he was in DC. Obviously, wish him the best. Hopefully, his BL Plus record doesn't follow suit as his past and previous ventures out in the Midwest. So,
yeah, I hope the best for him. And the week that he finally announces that he's going out of town, guess who he's playing? Guess who he's playing fantasy? I'm gonna have to lay the licking down to let him know he shouldn't be doing that. It's a statement game. It is
bulletin board material, man.
He did give me a lot of it. He fielded up, and he was also trying to reverse jinx during the Thursday night game. But we're gonna get into that now. There's really not much to recap from last week, other than what we just recapped. So that's pretty much it, guys. We're going to get into the previews of this show. Yeah, Cobb and I got a lot of shit going on today, so we're trying to get this done as fast as possible. Hopefully it'll be the fastest show of the season, although some people really love the 2-hour shows. I don't know why, but I'm glad we have some owners in the league who really enjoy all the shit talking. Okay. All right, so we're going to begin here with the first matchup of the week. I'll do this one because I'm number 2, so I'll have you do the next one. We have a pretty good matchup, actually. It's Matt Hotch at 1 seed versus Tasia 8 seed. I'm going to go ahead and say probably the matchup of the week because Tasia, record-wise, may not be a top 6 team, but he is a top 6 team. He might be a top 3, top 4 team, to be quite honest with you. So it's a big game. I think he could actually upset Hotch. So we're going to go into it now. So we got Joe Burrow versus Dak Prescott. Joe Burrow against Buffalo and Dak Prescott against Philly. Really interesting game here. Dallas is starting to come into themselves. I got dominated by the Stackers Club last week. Between those two, they had like an 80 combined between Dak and CeeDee Lamb. It was kind of wild. But Joe Burrow's playing against Buffalo. It's in Cincinnati. I don't know what the weather is. If it was anything like it was last night in Fairfax, that's not going to be a high-scoring game, I don't think. It was fucking freezing last night. It was cold. Sorry. Whatever. I'm a warm-blooded guy. Dude. Half Persian, half Cuban here. My ancestors didn't come from the tundra, all right? But desert and Caribbean. But that doesn't mix. But I will say this. I see the projections here is 24-18. I'm not buying it. Philly's defense has given up a lot of yards and a lot of points to quarterbacks this year. So you know what? I think Buffalo's going to win that game. I think it's going to be a scrappy game. I think Dak has a good game against Philly. I'm actually going to take Dak on this one. Just the Philly's defense secondary has not looked good this year. It hasn't. So yeah, I'll go Dak there. Great matchup here. Cooper Kupp versus Tyreek Hill. I think Tyreek Hill has a bad game. I think Chiefs kind of shut him down. I mean, if you look at any team that's had the most film on him, a defensive coordinator who's had the most time to prep against a guy like that, to whip up schemes against it would be the Chiefs and Steve Spagnuolo. And I think Jalen Waddle is actually going to have a big game. I don't think Tyreek's going to have a big game. And Cooper Kupp, I mean, he's pretty much matchup proof. I mean, I don't think he had a good game last week or last 2 weeks, but I think Cooper Kupp against Green Bay, he should have a pretty good game in that one. So I'm going to give the edge to Cooper Kupp. I don't think Tyreek Hill's going to have a big game this week against the Chiefs. I know a lot of people want that to happen for the novelty and the narrative of it, but I think Cooper Kupp has a big game this week. DeAndre Swift against Dallas and Breece Hall against the Clippers, the Chargers. I'm going to go Breece Hall. Chargers defense just ass. Dallas' defense is solid. Pass rush is good. That could be a game where they just kind of go big time with DeAndre Swift. I can see this being a wash, but if I had a slight lean, I'm going to go slight lean to Breece Hall. And this is an interesting one. Trey McBride, who had 20 targets last week. I think Kelsey, Dolphins, here's the one thing, the same logic I have with Tyreek Hill. So Kelsey is literally Dolphins can't do anything against tight ends. I mean, tight ends have dominated them all throughout the season. Whereas Kelsey's only been the only guy, and Tyreek Hill said the only thing he's really told the defense this week is just look at Kelsey, lock him down. I saw that Jalen Ramsey, they might put Jalen Ramsey on Kelsey at times this game. They're going to double him. I think it might be a rough week for Travis Kelsey. I hope not. We win. We fucking destroy them. But also, too, Kelsey said a lot of stuff in media this week. It seems like a lot of guys have been pissed off at what Tyreek Hill's been saying for the last 2 years. And we are also a very bulletin board petty team. So I'm going to go here, and I think Trey McBride could be the guy over there. 20 targets last week. That's just volume-wise. I'm going to go wash here. And I'm not going to go Kelsey. I'm not going to go Trey McBride. I'm going to go wash here because I think Trey McBride, of one of the few bright spots in that team, they're just going to continue to check down against him. And Cleveland's defense, a good defense. What happens when a quarterback is going to go against a good defense? You check down the running back and you check down the tight end. Kenneth Walker, Saquon Barkley. Give me Saquon Barkley against the Raiders defense. Although I could see Raiders even stepping up this week with the new interim head coach. Usually these teams always step up for the interim head coach. Ravens defense is pretty solid though. Yeah, I'll go Saquon slight lean. CD Lamb and Jonathan Taylor. Give me CD Lamb. I think there's gonna be a little bit back to back of that repeat we saw last week. And Adam Thielen and Jamar Chase. I think Jamar Chase. I mean, talk about a guy who just gets targets every week. Jamar Chase is gonna. I mean, even though I'm not sleeping on Thielen, Thielen's fantastic. I mean, if you talk about a guy who just gets targets every day of the week, it'll be a close one, but I think Jamar Chase will maybe have a touchdown, and Thielen doesn't get touchdowns. Thielen just gets fucking 10 catches and like 70 yards. But I'll go slightly into Chase. This is a really close one, man. Tasia still has to fix his defense there. I'll go Tasia with the upset this week. I think Tasia, it shows the world, shocks the world, and shows the BL Plus casuals that this is a team to be watching down in the rankings below. And I think if he wins this game, I think he like jumps into the playoff. I think so. Hodge goes to 6-3. Tasia would jump to 4-5. Well, yeah, I mean, he could easily get into the playoffs at that point. The 6 seeds for 3-5 as well. So, yeah, I think he upsets Hodge this week. What do you think?
Yeah, this is a tough one. I mean, I had Tasia winning last week, and I got that. This is a team not to be trifled with, but just matchup wise, it's hard not to pick Hodge in this one. I'm going to lean Hodge. I know Tasia really wants to have the back-to-back of beating you and then Hodge. Some say, I mean, that's the best feat that you could have outside of winning a championship.
Yeah, he actually said that this week. He said, he was like, if I don't win the championship this year, he goes, beating you and Hodge is pretty damn good. It's pretty close to it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I had the opportunity to do it. I dropped the ball. So hopefully Tasia gets it done. But I think, like you said, you think CD is going to be able to repeat. If he does, I think Tasia wins. I don't think he will. So I'm going to get Hodge and a high scoring outing, definitely game of the week.
Yeah, it's one thing about that Philadelphia. Like, they have a good pass rush, but like that secondary is atrocious, and the Dallas is a good line. Give them any time, dude. They could exploit the Philly secondaries. That's the only reason why I think I'm going for that more so than anything else.
I agree. Divisional matchups can always be a little wish-washy and kind of throw out the script kind of thing.
That's true.
But yeah, I mean, if Dak continues what he did the last 2 games as opposed to what he did the first 5, Tasia's in good shape.
Yep. All right, so we got so that was 1-8. It's kind of like the NBA playoffs here, Cobb. So we got 1-8, Hodge and Tasia, and then 2-7, me and Stu this week. It's the my revenge game for him leaving us.
Yeah, this is a big game. You guys had a good weekend 2 weeks ago together. Two owners going to celebrate another owner. We talked about that on the show.
Yeah.
And obviously dropped the news on you then, right before you guys were going to have a key time on the weekend. Old move for Stu. I would have maybe saved that for this week, throw you off your game. Now you had 2 weeks to prepare, to get your thoughts together, to get your team together. I think you got some material coming in this week hot. So going matchup to matchup, we got Herbert against Mahomes. Obviously Mahomes is the top QB right now, as he tends to be. Herbert had a great game last week. But I feel like outside of that, I mean, I guess the 2 previous weeks, it was kind of slow. Jets defense is really good. They're at New York, as opposed to, I think everyone is expecting this Miami and Chiefs game. It is in Germany, which is something. So I think expectations need to be a little lower, but I still think Mahomes edges out Herbert. Just because Miami's defense not great. The Chiefs get there a little later than the Dolphins do too, don't they?
Yeah, Dolphins got there, I believe, Tuesday. Chiefs got there Thursday afternoon. Or no, they got there Friday, so they got there yesterday.
Ooh,
yeah.
That's a little rough.
I know.
International games are always weird, and I'm still going to lean Mahomes in this one. If it wasn't international, I 100% would choose Mahomes. So this time I'm just going to trust Mahomes. I think he wants to also bounce back. It's kind of whack that they're making him do this after his flu game too. Poor guy. But I'll go Mahomes there, slight edge. Then we got Mike Evans against Keenan Allen. I'm probably going to end up going Keenan Allen in that one. I think it's relatively close. Obviously, we've talked about Mike Evans on the show a bunch. He's had a better season than most people expected, as he always tends to do, at least the last couple of years. But Keenan Allen's going to get peppered with targets, especially in what I think is going to be a grindy game with the Chargers and the Jets. Herbert's going to go to his guy in those tough spots. So I think Keenan Allen's going to edge you out there. Stu finally got his running back here, Keontae Ingram. He was hyped up about it. Kind of a gross guy to get hyped up about, again, especially going up against Alvin Kamara. That's an easy choice there. Not much to say about Keontae Ingram. They're going to have a rookie quarterback allegedly playing against the Cleveland defense. That's just smells of a domination. For like that whole Cardinals offense is going to look pretty rough.
Who's starting for the Arizona?
The rookie, because Dobbs got traded to.
Yeah, I knew that. What's the rookie's name?
I forget the rookie's name.
Oh.
But it's going to be his first start, and he's going against Cleveland. Like there's still a chance that Kyler plays, but I don't think they want him to show up against Cleveland. But at the same time, like you're throwing a rookie out there against Cleveland, so like if Kyler's out there, I'm a little more comfortable with the start. But again, you're going against Kamara, and Kamara's going against Chicago, so should be a bloodbath there.
Oh, Clayton Tune. Houston quarterback. He was looked good in the preseason. He was solid in college, but yeah, it's tough first start.
Yeah, very tough. Hopefully he comes out of that unscathed. So we'll go Tyler Higbee against Gerald Everett.
Ugh. The two Rams tight ends.
Yeah, it's just really going on the stack. Everett got saved by a couple touchdowns last 2 weeks. Otherwise, he wouldn't have done anything. Is Stafford supposed to play? Like, is he still?
I don't think Stafford's going to play this week. I think it's going to be Brett Rippon again.
Rippon?
Yeah.
Jesus.
That could be a wash.
I'm going to give that a wash. I didn't even want to analyze that matchup. Key one, though. So, yeah, we'll do a watch at tight end. DJ Moore against Puka Nacua. With no Stafford, dude, I'm going DJ Moore pretty easily in this one. I know he had a little bit of a I don't know, he slowed down. I mean, Fields has been out, but he's still getting the targets. Who knows how Reitman's going to look? I don't know. And with Cup, like he's going to have to feed Cup. I assume they're just going to run the ball a lot, especially against Green Bay, that I think you can run against. And they're traveling to Green Bay. It doesn't really feel like a good game for Puka. So I'm going to go DJ Moore. I think he's a higher floor there. Tony Pollard against Jacoby Myers. I'm going to go Tony Pollard. I know Eagles have a tough run defense. I mean, Tony Pollard hasn't had the year that we thought, but he's still getting the opportunities. I'm going over guaranteed touches over. Like we have no idea how this Raiders offense is going to come in. They just, they're starting a new quarterback. They have a new coach. They had nothing working for them in the air last week. Hopefully that changes, but it's more of a wait and see for me. I'm not going to choose Jacoby in that unknown offense for the Raiders. So I'm going to go Pollard there. If Derrick Henry gets Deontay Johnson, I would have picked Derrick Henry. But Deontay Johnson did end up getting that first touchdown in like 2 years for that guy. So congrats to him. I know Stu was psyched about that. I heard there might have been some reverse jinxing going on, and then Deontay got a touchdown. So you hate to see that. See, Stu, I'm going Dash in this matchup. I think he's giving you way too much ammo going into this game, and I think he could have played his cards a little better. Even then, I think the matchup's leaning in your favor. So go you. Let's go 135 to 118. Yeah,
the projection's 125 to 110. Yeah, I think I win. That team's is not like that's not it. Not it. And also with everything else, the extracurricular stuff going on, it's just not like it's not ripe for a win for him, unfortunately. Yeah. Okay, so next matchup here we have 3 versus 5 seed. I mean, realistically, this should be the matchup of the week if you look at like seeding wise, but it's just not. No one's tuning in to watch this game. They're putting this game on. Like, yeah, it's a local channel game. You can watch it if you want to, but it's the 1 o'clock game. No one's really watching this one. So we got having a very rough day versus David Roden, which is crazy that having a very rough day is a 5 seed right now. I mean, he's 5-3, dude. Like, I don't think anyone understands like how amazing that is for a guy who's scored the least points in the league. He's a 5 seed. That is what, and he's
Two
5.
games.
And he's 2 games over 500. I mean, he's averaging. I mean, just to put it in perspective here, he's averaging. God, where is it? Can you see what his points per game is on the app? It doesn't show it.
Yeah, he's averaging 105, which is up 4 points, I think.
That's not bad. All right, well, good for him there. Okay, so I will say he had some bad luck. He had the Aaron Rodgers injury week 1, and then he had Kirk Cousins. I mean, don't play quarterback for his team because you're gonna tear an Achilles. That's what it seems like.
Yeah, that's brutal.
Okay, so Tutu Conscusa-Roden, who surprised a lot of people this year, also another team that is 6-2. So there's only 3 6-2 teams. Some say it's part of the team degenerate text message chain that me, Hotch, and Roden have. All 3 teams 6-2. We got the script, I think. Nobody else got the script, just us 3. But anyway, so Bryce Young against Indianapolis versus Josh Allen against Cincinnati. Josh Allen against Cincinnati. Chris Godwin versus Stephon Diggs. Stephon Diggs. So right off the bat, Roden takes 2. James Cook versus Brian Robinson. James Cook, there you go. Hey, all right. Wow, a lot of guys in that Cincinnati Bills game, though. 3 already. Kyle Pitts versus Jacob Ferguson. Who I will say Taylor Heineke playing this week actually might help Kyle Pitts. So we might see more for Kyle Pitts this week. Jacob Ferguson had a pretty good week last week. 4 for 47 and a touchdown. I can't trust either one of these guys. I'm going to go wash here, but I think Heineke helps out Kyle Pitts at least. Joe Mixon versus another guy in that game. Joe Mixon versus Jalen Waddle. I do think Jalen Waddle has a good game this week because I think Tyreek Hill's not going to have a good game. I'm going to go wash, though, because I can see both guys having the same, but they have a 12 right now. So I'm going to go wash. Jordan Addison versus Josh Downs. You got 2 rookies in this one. Give me Addison, man. Addison looks phenomenal, dude. And Josh Downs will be throwing bombs at him all day long. I think Addison,
playing.
Oh, he's not playing?
Yeah.
Who's starting? What?
A rookie.
Oh, my God. Really?
Yeah. I mean, Dobbs is going to be active, though, so like it might be a short-lived.
Jaron Hall? Jesus.
Yeah.
Man. Well, I mean, did he – because I know he had a touchdown last week. Was that Hall or was that Kirk?
Oh, no, it was Kirk. That was Kirk.
Not really.
Yeah, I mean, Kirk tore his Achilles at the end of the game.
Jesus. Well, yeah. I guess we'll see. I mean, Jaron Hall was key at BYU. I don't really know. I mean, I don't know how he's going to translate to the NFL. I mean, there's a reason why they trade for Josh Dobbs this week. I'll say Addison versus Downs. The Rachaad White versus Tyler Boyd. Rachaad White, man, that guy is a fucking PPR monster, dude. That guy's getting 5 catches galore every week. Yeah, so pretty close game here, man. I think Roden edges him out, but like ZB, one thing we know about ZB already, he makes you play down and dirty. And if ZB wins this game, then we'll have 2 teams at 6-3, or 2 6-3 teams between those 2. So we're gonna have a little mixing up of the 3 versus 6 spot. God, it's gonna be really fun to see how the season ends. Oh, and we also have A. Millie's also 5-3. That's gonna be interesting to see where that goes. But yeah, I have Roden winning, but I honestly at this point, the way ZB just making everyone play down to his level, I think he could easily pull this game out.
Yeah, I also had Roden in this one. I think he just has more firepower, but yeah, you don't write anything off with ZB with how his season's been going. So kudos to him, new owner, and he's getting all of his guys together. They got the will to win. It faced as much adversity as anyone has in this league, and he's sitting pretty at a 5 spot by 2 games too. Still,
I know. Like, because that's a crazy thing, because everybody else below him is so bad that like he actually could have hang on to that spot, dude. It's wild.
So,
yeah. All right, so you're gonna go to the next matchup here. This is a team that we just mentioned a second ago. A team that's 5-3 was in the championship game last year. Some say if he did more research for his championship draft, he would have probably won. And if DeMar Hamlin never happened, he probably would have won. But DeMar Hamlin stripped it away from the kid. And they have another guy who wasted last year tanking, and it looks like it didn't do shit for him again. So now Alex is a team you can point to show that tanking does not do anything in this league. So we have Alex, Barry's Last Wish, versus Adam, 2-on. And this matchup, Cobb, what do you got here, baby?
Yeah, this is a pretty gross one. Adam's sitting nice at the 4 seed, 5-3, 2 games ahead, so he's got a comfortable lead. Alex is in a pretty rough spot. Um, he's I'm very surprised he went Will Levis over CJ Stroud this week. That is you're playing with five. Like that's a move that like if you're doing pretty well, you're already in like so, like if I was 2 games ahead, I'd feel more comfortable with that. When I'm at a 10 spot, 3-5, and already kind of struggling, I'm not making that move. And he did. And I mean, I would have taken Tua anyways, and now I'm absolutely taking Tua. Again, I think he's fortunate that this game is overseas because I think the scoring might be a little wonky. But if it's a normal game, dude, it's all Tua all day.
They say it's the highest over. It's the highest over under of the weekend.
Yeah, I hope it's a good game. I'm a little skeptical, but I hope it's a good game. Tua easy one there. The Levis, that's a wild pick. I didn't even notice that he had started him. CG Stroud's about to drop like a 25 on Tampa too.
I know.
Jesus. Pickens against Higgins. I honestly probably would have given this a wash going into the week. Higgins has very much been backseat to Jamar Chase. Pickens had a lot more competition now that Deontay was back. So I would have given this a wash, but Higgins should get more than 1.9. Pickens should have had a lot more. Everyone who was watching that game knows that he should have with the worst, just couldn't drag his foot down. I think anyone in this league could have made that play. If they had that catch, none of, I mean, we're not nearly as tall or as Pickens, but not being able to get his foot down there is the most insane thing I've ever seen. One of the worst out of bounds catches I've ever seen. So give me Higgins, I guess, now, but it would have been a wash. Bijan against Aaron Jones. I'll go Bijan. They do have a new quarterback, but it is Taylor Heineke, so at least it's a little experience. I think they're going to throw a little more because of that. Heineke likes to throw. I think it's unfortunate Drake London's going to be out because I was excited to see Drake London with Heineke. I think a lot of Drake London owners were excited to see that, but Aaron Jones just hasn't looked the part. Or hasn't looked. I mean, I won't say looked the part, but the whole Green Bay offense is gross. Jordan Love looks terrible, and Aaron Jones is struggling because of it. He has had 5 targets in the last 2 games, but it hasn't really produced anything. But give me Bijan. Goddard against Njoku. Give me Goddard. I think Njoku had a really good game last week, but I think that was kind of a blow up spot. I guess the one position Arizona's good at defending is the linebackers. First time, I guess they hadn't let up a touchdown to linebacker to opposing tight ends until Mark Andrews, and then Njoku did it back-to-back weeks. Yeah, never mind. Andrews did it last week, and Njoku wants to do it this week and make it back-to-back weeks. But I'll do Goddard. Again, I think it's going to be a grindy game with Dallas and Philly, so I think might have to rely on Dallas there a little more. I don't know. You just feel safer. Austin Eckler against AJ Brown. Give me AJ Brown. Eckler hasn't really been looking like anything outside of last week, but if it wasn't for his touchdown, I don't know. He didn't look like he had any space to run. 15 attempts for 29 yards, 14 attempts for 45, 14 for 27 are his last 3 games coming back from injury. Hasn't looked very good. And again, I think the Chargers and Jets game is going to be kind of nasty. But AJ Brown has just been a man on a mission. He's been a fucking beast.
Yeah.
Probably one of the best keepers out there right now. 20th round keeper for Adam. So give me AJ Brown there. Jacobs against Gus Edwards. Gus Bus was loose.
He was
last week. 3 touchdowns. That was wild. Jacobs looked pretty solid for what that offense was. I'm going to give Jacobs the edge here. I know Gus looked good last week, and week before he did really well as well. But he also had 1 reception for 80 yards there. Jacobs looked good, man. Last game, I think they're gonna, with the rookie quarterback, I think they're gonna rely on the run again a little more, even though they kind of did last week as well. But give me Jacobs. Kareem Hunt versus Chuba Hubbard. I don't think Miles Sanders is supposed to play. So that'd be a big bonus because I mean, Kareem Hunt obviously has more competition. Kareem Hunt's looked great. He's had the juice since coming back. Um, Man, this might be a wash for me because if Miles Sanders doesn't play, like Indy's defense sucks, Arizona's defense sucks too, but Kareem Hunt just has a little more competition with uh, Jerome Ford back there and Pierre Strong, I guess. But give me a wash on that one. Yeesh. This is gross, dude. I I would have picked Alex coming into this week, but with the start of Will Levis, I think that's a lot of points that Adam can quickly make up. And I don't think Higgins is that much of a differentiator between him and Pickens. So like, give me Adam in this one, man. I think starting Will Levis is going to bite Alex in the ass. Give me a low scoring game. I'll do a 116 to a 107 for Adam.
Yeah. I will say the whole George Pickens getting a 1, that could fuck him over. And the Will Levis thing, that's
what I'm saying. Like, if he had started CJ, I would have had Alex all day in that. But it's just like you gave Adam a window to make that up.
He must have been like, I mean, a lot of people were excited to see what Will Levis could do week 2. And Alex must have like thought like he was going to repeat that. But like Steelers defense has been really good this year, so I don't really get that.
Yeah.
Poor kid. Well, it's the same kid who tanked last year to become a 10th seed the following year. So, I mean, what do you expect at this point? So the next matchup we got is, yeah. Man. All right. So we have my guy Cobb, my co-host, my guy, my WR1 versus the new guy, Jack Louie. A lot of people say face of the league in a couple of years. Some people are saying it. I'm not saying it, but people are saying it. I'm going to leave it out there. All right. So Derek Carr against Chicago versus Jalen Hurts against Dallas. I'm not going to lie. Jalen Hurts, I mean, he's putting up numbers every week. And Derek Carr against Chicago, though, Carr hasn't done anything to make me want to pick him as far as like his numbers this year. Because even when he's played bad defenses, was his highest of the year is a 20 fucking 2s. I can't do it. I just can't do it. I mean, I think one of Hurts' lowest games was a 22. So based on that, yeah, Hurts' lowest game was a 14. His second lowest was a 21. So like his second lowest was a 21. Carr's highest is 22. I gotta go to Hurts, and that's not even a question. I do like the stack though. The Olave Carr stack's key. I like that. I'm gonna go Olave over Devontae Smith. Devontae Smith's not the guy. AJ Brown's the guy. Darrell Henderson versus Pacheco. Darrell Henderson's starting back in Green Bay this week. I like it. But I will say I'm going to lean Pacheco here. Pacheco, the Chiefs are without CEH this week, so it's more reps for him. Jerick McKinnon has been a limited practice participant with a groin injury, so there's going to be a lot less of Jerick McKinnon, more Pacheco this week. And I think Pacheco's going to have a lot, just to do a lot in the game. I don't know how much, so I just trust Pacheco more, especially against Darrell Henderson. However, Darrell Henderson's starting back this week, so TJ Hawkinson, Mark Andrews, pretty good matchup there. We got a rookie quarterback playing. Rookie quarterbacks love their tight ends, and TJ Hawkinson's also one of the best tight ends anyway. I'm going to go TJ Hawkinson. Zay Flowers and Tyler Lockett. Lockett looked pretty good last week, but Zay Flowers has been very consistent every week as far as like just getting touches. I'm going to go Zay Flowers, slight lean. Garrett Wilson, DK Metcalf. DK Metcalf, is he playing this week? I thought he wasn't going to play. Yeah, ready for Sunday. Yeah, DK Metcalf's pretty solid and consistent. Garrett Wilson, pretty consistent as well. I'm going to go watch there. Nico Collins and Jerome Ford. Jerome Ford, is he the guy? I don't know if he's the guy. But I do know they got a rookie quarterback starting this week. Or not rookie. What's his name?
Tucker.
PJ
Tucker.
Yeah.
PJ Walker.
PJ Walker, yeah. I mean,
I thought Deshaun was going to be ready.
Oh, that's right. Watson is playing this week. That's right. And then Nico Collins gets Tampa. I mean, what's Collins done? I knew he started off the season pretty hot. Yeah, that's a tough one. I'm going to go Jerome Ford here. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to go Jerome Ford in that matchup. I can trust him more. So, all in all, yeah, it doesn't look like you're going to pull out the win this week. You're going to lose another game. You possibly could be cementing yourself as the Pancake King. And then we got Lil J. Jack Louie gets his first dub in the BL Plus league. Big time for him. Good for the kid. He really deserves it. Came in, I mean, I wouldn't say he worked his way up. I mean, he already took over a team that was in the playoffs, so like good for him for doing that. But yeah, Jack Louis gets his first dub in the BL Plus. I love the kid. I'm telling you, some people are saying he can be the face of the league in a couple of years. I'm not saying it, but people are saying it out there, and he's going to get his first win against you, and that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it'd be nice to be a part of history, I think. I will say, originally I was going to start Gardner Minshew this week, and then Jack Louis dropped Derek Carr, and I saw the opportunity to get a stack, and I think the only way I was going to win this week is if I had something like that. I'm going to need an Olave touchdown that he's due one since he dropped one last week that would have won me the week, but who's counting? And then someone dropped Darrell Henderson too. So all three of my, so I had Etienne, Montgomery, and Javonte Williams all in the same bye. I kind of like that coming into the season, but then this week when I'm already like struggling was rough. But then someone dropped Darrell Henderson, and I do like him this week with Stafford being out and then Green Bay's run defense not being great. But yeah, I don't know. It's just I can't count on this team. It's sad. It's just ridiculous. I don't feel like I should be in the 12th spot. I feel like I should at least have 2 more wins. But I don't. I'm here, and I think Jack wins this week and gets his first, and that's bright side. I'm part of history. So
you're a good guy.
Long career, yeah.
You're a good guy to recognize that at least.
Yep.
All right, moving here fastly. So our last matchup, I believe, is our last one. It's between. Sorry. It's Z. We had two of the guys in attendance last night at the senior night. We got ZT versus my guy Michael Yaglu under new management. So this is a barn burner.
It's nasty.
Take it away, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, Jesus, this is just nasty. It's a nasty matchup. That I don't think anyone's going to be. We were talking about no one's going to tune in to Roden and ZB. Even less are going to tune in for this. This is just a gross game. Projections are both under 100. I don't know if I've seen a matchup this early before like the games have started. I mean, obviously with the Thursday game, but where 2 teams are projected under 100. Where was this last week? ZT. Kind of weak. I guess he doesn't have Jahmyr Gibbs this week, so that's a bummer for him. Jordan Love against Lamar Jackson. Give me Lamar Jackson. Jordan Love looks terrible. He's going to have to hope that he gets that Love to Watson connection, get a touchdown there to make things interesting. Seattle's defense is pretty stingy, and I always feel, I don't know, I feel like Seattle, maybe it's just, I don't know what I'm thinking of, but Seattle and Baltimore just seem to have stingy like matchups. So it could be a low week for Lamar, but I still think he's going to do better than Jordan Love. Pittman against Watson. I'm going to go Pittman. Pittman's consistently been putting up numbers. I was surprised ZT benched him against me last week, actually. I'm glad he did because, I mean, it gave me a better shot, but he still pulled up the win. But I'll still give Pittman the edge there. Again, Green Bay's offense looks terrible. Deonta Foreman against Ramondre Stevenson. Give me Ramondre. I mean, Foreman, I don't know. It's just he had his week. He had his shine. But now with Roschon back, I don't think Herbert's back yet, but clearly it's not going to work out there. So give me Ramondre. I think he's going to have a decent week against Washington, especially with them trading 2 of their people on the defensive front. Jonnu Smith against Kincaid. Give me Kincaid. Kincaid's looked great. Jonnu, I don't know what ZT's doing, continuing to roll him out. Does he not have a better tight end? Musgrave, I mean, I'd probably put him over Jonnu, but I don't even know. That's a bad options there. So give me Kincaid over Jonnu Smith. McLaurin against Devontae Adams. We'll see what Devontae looks like in this new offense for the Raiders, but give me McLaurin. Our New England secondary sucks. They're beat up. There's hope that we can get into Howell's head and like kind of like take out McLaurin. Like if there's someone we're going to take out, it's going to be McLaurin. But I don't know. I don't really see that happening. So give me McLaurin with a slight edge, even though the projection's leaning towards Devontae Adams. I just don't trust that QB. Like, I mean, they're starting a rookie QB. So, wow. Battle of the KC receivers here with Sky Moore versus Rashee Rice. That is terrible. Give me Rashee Rice. That's a really funny matchup. Not much to say other than Rashee Rice is clearly the preferred receiver there.
Yep.
Sky Moore. I can't believe he's still being rolled out, but I guess he doesn't have more options. Hell, I would start Cam Akers if I was Yags over some of these guys. Cam looked pretty good.
Dude.
Then we have Jaden Reed. Jesus, a lot of investment in this Green Bay Rams game.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Awful. And then Gallup. I mean, I guess I lean Reed in that case. I don't know. Slightly. I don't really have any strong preference for either of those guys. So Jesus, dude. I mean, if there was a week to beat ZT, it's this week, but it's unfortunate. ZT is very, very fortunate, and I want it to be known that he's very, very fortunate to be playing Yags this week. I'm bummed that he is because ZT is one of the guys I'm trying to drag down to take my place. But give me ZT in a really gross game. Give me a 102 to 86 win for ZT.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go Yagler. I think Yagler steals the dub. I mean, just because it's a crapshoot. Looking at this score here,
yeah, it is a coin flip.
Yeah, I'll go Yagler just because Yagler's key. Went to Glory Days last. My reason because he went to Glory Days last night. ZT didn't, so that tells you all you need to know about the camaraderie and chemistry aspect of Yagler. So Yagler, and Yagler's gonna be sending us a chug here at some point today or tomorrow. Yeah. All right. Well, that does it for the projections for this week. We hope everyone has a great game this week, and we hope the playoff standings, at least from the 3 to 6 spot, looks more, for me, more chaotic. I want to see more chaos with that 3 to 6 spot. And I hope you're not in the Pancake King because your team's not bad. Like your team, we looked like 5 teams there that are significantly worse than your team. It just doesn't make any sense.
I know that. Yeah, I appreciate I've had a few owners tell me that this week, and I appreciate where it's coming from. But I'm very well aware that this is some whack shit.
Yeah, and also too, some of these teams have like a quarterback that is in their spot. It's like your team's not that bad, but then you have a quarterback who's starting who's like, what? All right. So in the sake of time, because Cobb and I have to do stuff today, we have to get to shit going. We're just gonna do a Pancake King projection. We're going to do one for each of us. And then we're going to do motivational squeeze right after that. So we're going to go right to it. So with that being said, the episode of the Cobb and Dash Show is brought to you by IHOP, the home of the stack. Halloween's over, but we're still in the fall. And that means it's time to go get some pumpkin pancakes. I might go. I want to end the show early today so I can go get my pumpkin pancakes. So yeah, the stack is back as well. So go to IHOP. All right, so now we're going to go to the Pancake King. One more video you guys got to see before we release our Pancake King. Yeah, so this is the team that we both think is going to be the Pancake King when the season is over. I'm taking into account there's 2 teams actually that will not be doing the Pancake King this year. There's 2 teams. It's Jack, and that's Yaglu because they took over. Well, one took over midseason, and then one is took over a team that had no draft picks. So I'm going to take those into account when I do my Pancake King ranking or my Pancake King selection today. But without further ado, this is our Pancake King.
You are the Pancake King, young and sweet-hearting fan of thieves. Ooh, see that boy, watch that taste, digging the Pancake King.
All right. So Cobb, who is your Pancake King this week?
Yeah, I'm also taking that into account. I feel like it's not we haven't really been doing justice to putting someone as the Pancake King that's not going to be doing the challenge. So it doesn't really feel right. So I'm putting me as the Pancake King.
Wow.
Yeah, it's just
Wow.
time to admit that this is just not the season. I liked my team a lot. I liked my team a lot, but it's just not coming together. I've had 3 losses by under 8 points, and in those 3 losses, their IDPs scored 30 plus. So maybe our past owner did have a point. I don't know. But no, it just sucks. It's hard to be in a position where I look at my team and I like it a lot more than a lot of other teams, but it's just like not much else I can do. I've tried to make trades. There's a few moves that I made last week that would have won me the week against CT that I just fumbled the bag there. I'll happen against Adams as well. It's just been a rough year, and time to admit that. So Pancake King goes to me. Uphill battle too. This is also taking me how I'm already a game back. I'm also playing Little Jack this week, and I expect him to win. So that could be at least 2. It could be 2 games back, and I'm gonna have to make that up within the 4 or 5 weeks left after this. So
Yeah. I don't have you there because I just don't, I genuinely don't think you have the worst team. And I'm also looking at this one particular owner's matchups, and I think we've got some tough matchups coming up this way. So my the team that I have in this spot is Alex. I have Alex as the Pancake King. And I don't know if he's being cocky with his whole situation because he traded Burrow for a first round pick. And he has, like you said, he has like a 1 game buffer of being the last spot. So I don't know if he's throwing this game this week because he wants to have as many high picks as possible for next year. So if he does that, we possibly get the number 2 and the number 3 pick after the first, 2 of the top 3 picks in the draft. Well, actually, not really because the pick he got was Hodge's pick. So that's going to be like a late pick. So like, I don't even.
yeah.
Yeah. I think my rationale is he has a lot of good guys in his team, but just overall it has not worked out. He tanked last year to be a top team, and he tanked and traded a lot of picks that he tanked for, and he traded picks to get high picks to get guys that were high tenders. So like the whole tanking thing, he had kind of missed on that. Like if he was a GM, dude, he might get fired if this was the NFL. Like because like the fan base would not be happy with the tank job he did, how you tanked, and then what you got in return. And then you end up trading one of the guys you got in that tank job, which you fleeced another owner on, and you flipped it for a first round pick. So that's one good thing you did. Very NBA, like a couple, I think a 3-year GM like moves that he did. But yeah, the Will Levis start this week, it really kind of throws me off as far as what he's trying to accomplish this year. And he's 10th of 12 right now. He's only he's got less points than you do. That's why I don't have him below you. And yeah, it's just like this team's not good. So I don't know and he's only like 30. Yeah, he only has 30 more points than the lowest score, which is ZB. So it's really like perplexing, honestly. So yeah, I honestly would not be surprised if he is the Pancake King, just based on everything that's going for him this year. The Will Levis move, like that's not someone who's locked in. He was weird at the game last night, didn't talk to any of us. Thought that was also weird too. It seems like he's kind of ashamed of what he's done in this league. And I feel bad for him if that is the case.
Without saying anything this time?
What's that?
Is he tanking again without saying anything this time?
Pretty bad. It sounds like he's guilty for the 2-year tank. And I love that. I love it. I think at some point the BL Plus needs to step in, like the NBA did for the Sixers back in the day during the process years. I think we need to step in and put an assistant GM involved, like to make sure
that he did this. I mean, benching CJ Stroud for Will Levis makes absolutely 0 sense.
Yeah, I need to know why that happened.
I didn't notice that until I went to that matchup.
I mean, how much? Can you see how much you paid for him on your? Because I can't. I don't think I can see it on the app. How much you paid for him?
Yeah. $20.
Okay, so you paid a lot for him. Maybe that's maybe you want to justify the spending on that, but I don't even understand that.
Yeah, I mean, I think every owner knows that CJ Stroud would have been the play there. Like you let Will Levis, cool pickup, but like let him cook on your bench.
Yeah, I don't know. If it is a part of a tank, maybe, but like,
Honestly, I kind of hope it is because that's some questionable decision making.
yeah, well, we're gonna get into that questionable decision making on our next segment here. So the final topic here is Barry's motivational squeeze, paying homage to the late great Marcus Berry. We didn't get to see him last night. We thought we'd see him at the game. Apparently, he, as soon as the freshman team was over, he like dipped. Didn't even want to stick around to be on the varsity sideline. Unfortunately, he probably could have recruited a few kids on the sideline for some clients. But unfortunate for him that his marketing's not working for him. But anyway, this is Barry's motivational squeeze.
This is why you're fucking holding back, and I'm tired of the BS.
Cobb, who are you giving your motivational speech to this week?
Yeah, this is a tough decision. I thought about going owner, but he's leaving us, at least the area, so I decided not to pick him. I don't think he needs it. Don't want to give him material back. So I'm actually going to choose one owner that's in the playoffs, and I'm going to do ZB.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think there's been a lot of talk about him being the just the outcast, the outlier in the playoff spot. But dude, you're 2 games up on the next seed. Your points for aren't the best, but it might not come down to it because you're gonna have a game up on people. So just keep grinding, man. Keep your head down. Don't get that imposter syndrome going, even though we're trying to implant that in your head. We're happy with the successes that you've been having. There's been bigger surprises in this league, so keep grinding, man, and hopefully you stick it out and make the playoffs and make some noise.
Yeah, I really hope he makes the playoffs, and I hope I play him in the second round. Just give me the championship, dude. I don't care, whatever it takes to get the championship. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, ZB's really impressed this year. A lot of people were like, "Oh, who's this guy?" Like, only a few owners know him. Like, he's gonna be a good owner like that. Well, I mean, he's making do with what we what's out there. So, kudos to him for grinding out these wins. So my generally, if you watch the show, there's a kind of like a common trend with my with who I attack. Usually, my Pancake King is my Barry's motivational squeeze. It just gives me like another segment to dog this person. So yeah, I'm gonna stick right there, Alex. Again, you tanked last year, and I'm gonna go ahead and assume this Will Levis move was a part of a tank job for this coming game or this season. You tanked last year. You're a 10th seed now. You were like so close to being a Pancake King last year. You tanked. You traded high picks for like the guys that you tanked, and then you got these picks, and then you traded them for high keeps, and it like makes no sense because like a tank, you get picks to trade for guys who are like 20th round tenors or 19th round tenors, and then we see you last night. You don't say a word to the BL Plus. It's like that half the league's right next to you. When you're not talking about the league. You're not talking about trades. You're not talking about making any moves. And it's like, what are you doing? So you traded Burrow. You trade him really soon. You trade him like week 2 after he like looked bad for the first 2 weeks. Look at history. Burrow has not looked good in September. None of Burrow's seasons, how he had ever had like a touchdown interception ratio that was like more than like 2 touchdowns to interceptions. So like the September months aren't good. So you didn't do your homework on that. You just traded him on a whim. Yeah, you got a first round pick for it. So congratulations for that. But like
second round.
Oh, a second round?
Well, it's gonna be an early. It's gonna be
as well. Yeah. So you did that, and I don't understand. Like, what's the point? Like, you do that. Like, did you already know after the first month that you were not going to be anywhere? Because you traded for Justin Fields, who hadn't really looked good. He had one big week, and you got him. You got him before he had that big week, and then you had that big week, and then you got hurt. Did you really think like you were going to compete with Justin Fields this year? I mean, the guy who was a Bears fan was jumping ship. He knew, and like you did it. So please me believe. Are you doing a 2-year tank? What's the plan? Do we have like a business plan for this? I want to see with the outline what you're going to do. Because this team, yeah, you have some good guys on here, but like, I don't know, man. I'm really worried about you because like since you left the show, you got married. It's great, congratulations. But like it's just like you miss more flag games than usual. You don't talk to the crew as much. You don't hang out with the crew. You don't even go to B-ball as much. There's a lot of things going on here. And I think this tank job has gone a little too far. And I think at some point, if we get rumblings that you are tanking this year, league might have to step in and do some sanctioning, do some limits to what the moves you can make. I don't know. I might have to leave it up for a vote or something because like it's going too far. But yeah, Barry's motivational squeeze to Alex. Don't
Very
do it.
motivational. Very motivational.
It's like a threat.
Yeah, it's like the motivation was all squeezed out. You just had a little,
Only a little bit in there.
only a little drop. I couldn't even point out the motivation there, but I like it.
Try to win, and be more active. Because I think a lot of it, everything's tied together. The more active you are, the keyer you'll be. The less active you are, the worse you'll be. And look, man.
Third most moves, though.
What's that?
Third most moves in the league.
Yeah, that's not the activity I'm talking about. I'm talking about legit activity, getting your hands dirty.
Yeah.
Getting your hands dirty at b-ball. Like I want that kind of dirtiness. Like. And we'll see. Bowl game's coming up here. He commented saying he's in. So like, hey, that's a start. So you know what? Maybe it's a trend in the right direction, possibly. But we'll see. That's it, guys. Well, we hope everyone enjoyed the Cobb and Dash show. It was a short episode, shortest one we've had all season. We didn't get to do everyone in the Pancake King rankings. That'll be next week. Probably we'll make that a nice special episode for everybody. Actually, I don't know. We have a wedding next weekend, so
Live from Atlanta.
Ooh, in our hotel room, kind of key.
We'll figure it out.
But all right, guys. Yeah, we'll figure it out. We hope everyone has a good weekend. We'll see you guys next time. Yeah, take it easy, everybody.
Take it easy.